this is kind of what some of the things I've seen that help develop anything faster in terms of flexible people. The only thing is I just call it range of motion. I get too confused myself with what people think mobility is and what people think flexibility is, so I just say range of motion because it makes more sense to me. In developing range of motion, what I normally see is, one, circles tend to be better. Two, bands, chains, what else? Cables.
Why chains?
Tend to be better tools. I'll explain that when we, I'm just doing the tend to be better tools. Okay. Three, the main thing is, again, when we're going back to it, is thinking in terms of just kind of what we talked about last time. Forward, backward.
Nothing.
Just slipped.
Is it still on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Forward, backward.
Forward, forward.
Forward, forward. And I'm just saying this like this, but it's not necessarily, you're necessarily always going forward, forward, or backward, backward. It's just the ways you kind of want to think about it to help you think of every single movement you can ever do.
Right.
And then backward, backward. Okay. So these are the three things I've been using for the most part. There's other things, but literally if I was to say this is how I would teach a client how to do range of motion, these are the stuff I would try to look for. Okay? So the first one, circles tend to be better. What normally happens, now, do you, when I say concentric, eccentric, you pretty much know what that means? Okay. So concentric basically is accelerating or going towards the direction you want to go to. So basically going towards any direction. So if it's an overhead press, you're going towards it. Eccentric would be decelerating or going away.
Right, say away from gravity.
Yeah, pretty much. Don't necessarily think of away from gravity, just think of away of whatever your intended movement is. Whatever the intended movement is.
Anyone I've had to explain it.
Yeah. So always think about it more in terms of just going away from
So like
that.
a lat pull,
Concentric?
you want to be here, going away.
Going away. You're going away from the
that
intended
really
movement.
helps.
Always think of it intended movement.
Okay.
Now, what normally happens in the beginning and when you're actually trying to do the circles is for going into the range of motion, you'll actually be wanting to go away from it. So this is what I mean. And you kind of have to think of it in terms of 2 to 3 ranges of motion versus 1 because a circle is composed of all the directions. So if I'm trying to build, say, a bridge, so let's go back to your bridge. The way you want to think about it is what do I need to do? And basically I need to go backwards. The other thing I have to do is what side range of motion do I need better? Because remember, it's a circle. So we're kind of trying to delineate the different directions. So me going back is good. So you can kind of just have a general idea. Now I have to figure out, is this direction better? No. This direction better? Yes. This is the direction I can't go into though. You notice that? So if I do this, it's not that good. If I do this, I can pretty much do it. My circle is actually going to be that way. Just through testing. So yeah, so if I do this, or if I do this, notice the speed is already different. So to speed up your testing and what to look for, this is basically the simple answer. It's pretty much what direction are you trying to improve on first. So if I'm trying to do the bridge, if you notice the two that I'm trying to go, I'm going away from this and this. I'm not going towards it, I'm going away from it. That's the difference. That's kind of what I've noticed helps speed up that range of motion. So whenever you're looking first to increase range of motion, you need to figure out a way to go away from it. Okay?
That makes good sense.
That's the main difference. A lot of people, when they're trying to do it, stretching.
Yes.
A lot of people teach stretching based on concentric. Yeah, but think about the way your body is. it's not going to want to go towards the range of motion that it doesn't want to go towards to. It probably thinks it's very dangerous. Plus, it's too specific. Most of the time. I mean, it's most of the time.
Yeah.
This is what normally I've seen whenever I'm looking to build range. This is what I would test first, moving away from any direction I'm trying to go into. Okay. Now, that's the circles. Now, the second one, did you get all that? Okay. So, if I'm trying to build range of motion, if you want to call it flexibility, or if you want to call it mobility, I don't really care. But if you're trying to do it that way, think about the ways to incorporate circles. It doesn't even have to be small movements, it can be big ones. When I'm doing overhead presses and I know I can't go in a line, I'm trying to figure out some circle to do it in.
Awesome.
That's why normally I use the bands, because it's more free.